Dr. Rathod, Dr. Faustus begins with a brilliant scholar at Wittenberg. Despite his mastery in fields like medicine and theology, he becomes dissatisfied. Could you elaborate on his motivations to pursue magic?
Certainly, Faustus is driven by an insatiable thirst for knowledge beyond human limits. He seeks to transcend ordinary scholarly pursuits by mastering sorcery, hoping to unlock the mysteries of the universe. In many ways, it's akin to the modern pursuit of technology for limitless potential.
An interesting analogy. Yet, Faustus ignores warnings from a good angel and listens to an evil angel. How does this internal conflict illustrate his moral struggle?
Faustus's choice reflects a classic battle between conscience and temptation. The good angel's warnings echo the moral compass we often ignore when enticed by immediate gains. It's reminiscent of how people today might overlook ethical concerns for short-term benefits.
That's a compelling comparison. However, some might argue that Faustus's ambition could be seen as a quest for progress. How would you respond to that perspective?
It's a valid point. Ambition drives progress, but unchecked ambition often leads to downfall. Faustus serves as a cautionary symbol of ambition unmoored from ethical considerations, resembling historical figures whose quests for power led to their demise.
Moving to the pivotal moment, Faustus makes a pact with Lucifer, offering his soul for 24 years of power. Dr. Rathod, what does this decision signify about his character?
This pact underscores Faustus's willingness to sacrifice everything for transient power, highlighting his hubris. Despite Mephistopheles' warnings about hell, Faustus is blinded by his desires, similar to how people often ignore risks for immediate rewards.
Indeed, but Faustus experiences moments of doubt, seeing Homo Fuge on his arm. Does this represent any chance of redemption he might have had?
Absolutely, Homo Fuge is a stark reminder of his diminishing opportunity for repentance. It's like a lifeline he refuses to grasp, indicating that redemption is always within reach but requires courage to act against temptation.
However, some argue that Faustus's fate was sealed the moment he signed that contract. Could repentance truly have altered his fate?
That's debatable. The narrative suggests repentance as a possibility, yet Faustus's persistent denial reflects a human tendency to believe we're beyond redemption. His story warns against this fatalistic mindset, encouraging us to seek forgiveness and change. Faustus's trivial pursuits reveal a deeper existential void. He seeks fulfillment through power but lacks purpose, akin to someone possessing wealth but devoid of meaningful life goals, highlighting the emptiness of power without direction.
A poignant observation. But how do these actions serve as a reflection of Faustus's internal conflict?
There is merit to that interpretation. Faustus's antics can be seen as pushing against the constraints of traditional knowledge. Yet, without a constructive outlet, rebellion for its own sake becomes self-destructive, a theme Marlowe adeptly critiques.
As Faustus's 24 years conclude, he faces regret and terror. Dr. Rathod, what does his final night reveal about his understanding of his choices?
In his final hours, Faustus is engulfed by despair, realizing too late the gravity of his choices. His plea for more time reflects a universal fear of mortality and the desire for second chances, underscoring the tragedy of unrealized potential.
But could Faustus's story inspire future readers to reconsider their priorities and ambitions?
Absolutely. Faustus's tale is timeless, urging readers to balance ambition with moral responsibility. It serves as a powerful reminder that the pursuit of greatness should not come at the cost of one's ethical integrity.
Alright everyone, welcome back to another riveting episode of The Depths of Desire. Today, we're diving deep into a tragic tale that truly shines a light on the human condition. Dr. Faustus, by Christopher Marlowe. Now, I know what you're thinking. A play about making deals with the devil? How thrilling. But really, this isn't just a story about some hapless scholar. It's a reflection on our ambitions and the moral crossroads we all face.
Wow. That's such a fascinating way to look at it. I mean, it's true how we often chase after the latest trends. But What exactly pushes Faustus down this dark path? Is it just ambition, or, something deeper?
Ah, excellent question. It's deeply rooted in ambition, yes, but it also touches on an innate dissatisfaction with humanity, if you will. Faustus believes that the conventional sciences simply aren't enough to satiate his thirst for knowledge and, honestly, power. Oh, the temptation of power. And he turns to two magicians for guidance. Just picture it. It's like going to a YouTube tutorial for magic spells, right?
Haha, right. Or like when someone subscribes to, I don't know, a magic subscription box. But, did he have any warnings before making such a gargantuan decision?
Absolutely. He's warned, repeatedly, of the disastrous consequences of dabbling in the dark arts. There's even a warning that appears as a tattoo on his arm, a literal mark of his choices. But here's the kicker. The allure of magic and power is so intoxicating that Faustus brushes those warnings aside. Imagine throwing caution to the wind at a party because your friends dared you. That's pretty much what he does.
Oh wow, I can totally imagine that moment must have been quite thrilling for him. But, did he ever feel remorse during those 24 years of power?
Oh, for sure. There are moments of rollercoaster of emotions, really. He becomes distracted with fame and trivial pursuits, conjuring Mephistopheles to fulfill his desires. It's like when we focus so much on the fleeting pleasures of life, ignoring the bigger picture. But as his time runs short, that's when the regret truly kicks in.
Wow, it sounds like a reality check sort of moment. So what does he do in his final hours? Does he try to escape his fate?
Spot on. In his final moments, he seeks solace in the beauty of Helen of Troy. It's as if he thinks that perhaps love could save him from his wrongdoings. But hold on, despite realizing where he went wrong, he refuses to repent out of sheer fear. It's heartbreaking, really. He confesses to friends, believing he's too far gone to save. Imagine being at the end of a cliff, knowing you've messed up, but still holding on to that last shred of pride.
Ugh, that's intense. So, when midnight strikes, does he just leave?
Yes, and it's harrowing. Devils come to claim his soul, dragging him to hell. He leaves his friends mournful, a stark reminder of the consequences that come from unchecked ambition and moral neglect. It's a chilling warning for all of us, particularly in our fast-paced, power-hungry world. The message is clear. What you choose can shape your destiny in unimaginable ways.
That's both thrilling and terrifying. This truly feels like it speaks to today's society, so much pressure for success, and wow, I just love how these themes remain relevant.
Dr. Rathod, Goethe's Faust is a tale of unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Faust, despite his scholarly prowess, feels deeply unfulfilled. Can you explain why Faust turns to magic in his search for meaning?
Certainly, Faust represents the archetype of the Renaissance man, mastering various fields yet finding them devoid of true satisfaction. Magic, in Faust's eyes, offers a gateway beyond mundane knowledge, a bridge to the infinite. It's akin to modern scientists who push boundaries, hoping to uncover universal truths.
An interesting parallel. However, in his pursuit, Faust makes a pact with Mephistopheles. This raises a moral dilemma, doesn't it? Does ambition justify the means, even at the cost of one's soul?
That's the crux of the story. Faust's agreement with Mephistopheles highlights the eternal conflict between ambition and morality. Historically, individuals like Dr. Faustus in Marlowe's play and even modern-day entrepreneurs face similar ethical quandaries. The ends, in this case, challenge the moral fabric of the means.
Indeed, yet some might argue that Faust's relentless pursuit is commendable, even if fraught with peril. What future implications does this have for society's view on ambition and ethics?
Looking forward, Faust's tale serves as a cautionary yet inspiring saga. It suggests that ambition must be balanced with ethical considerations, a lesson relevant for future leaders and innovators who shape our world.
Moving to Gretchen's story, her relationship with Faust is pivotal. Dr. Rathod, how does their love affair unfold, and what consequences follow?
Gretchen, or Marguerite, embodies innocence and purity. Faust's love for her, fueled by Mephistopheles' manipulations, leads to tragic outcomes. It's reminiscent of Romeo and Juliet, where passionate love meets societal constraints, resulting in tragedy.
Tragedy indeed. Gretchen's story is marked by personal and societal downfall. Some might view her actions as a result of external manipulation. Could she have resisted Faust's advances?
While Gretchen's choices are influenced by Faust and the devil's schemes, her agency is crucial. She represents the conflict between personal desire and societal norms. Like many historical women, she's trapped by her era's limitations. Her tale warns against unchecked influence and societal pressures.
Her eventual redemption is profound. What does it reveal about love's role in redemption, especially considering future societal interpretations?
Gretchen's salvation through divine grace and love illustrates that redemption is possible despite human flaws. This notion, timeless and universal, offers hope for future societies that seek forgiveness and understanding amidst moral complexities.
As Faust's story progresses, his ambitions grow beyond personal pleasure. Dr. Rathod, how does this shift in focus impact his journey and ultimate redemption?
Faust's evolution from personal to grand ambitions like reclaiming land from the sea signifies his quest for a legacy. It's akin to modern leaders who envision utopias. However, his restlessness persists, reflecting humanity's perpetual yearning for more.
Yet, as Faust nears his life's end, his moment of happiness triggers Mephistopheles' claim to his soul. Is striving for perpetual growth ultimately a perilous path?
Faust's tale suggests that while striving can lead to peril, it also paves the way for redemption. His constant pursuit, coupled with moments of genuine happiness, invites divine grace. It's a reminder that growth, tempered with reflection, holds redemptive potential.
Given this narrative, how might future generations view the balance between ambition and fulfillment?
Future societies might draw from Faust's experience, understanding that while ambition drives progress, true fulfillment lies in balanced aspirations, ethical actions, and openness to grace and redemption.
Finally, let's explore the broader themes. Dr. Rathod goads Faust teams with themes like redemption and human flaws. How are these depicted, and what lessons can they offer?
Faust portrays redemption as a journey, not a destination. His flaws, such as his pact with the devil, highlight human susceptibility to temptation. However, his eventual salvation underscores the power of forgiveness. This duality teaches that acknowledging and striving beyond our flaws can lead to redemption.
Yet, some might argue that these themes are idealistic. Isn't it challenging to consistently strive for higher goals amidst human imperfections?
As we advance, Faust's themes may inspire a harmonious blend of ambition and morality. They encourage the nurturing of values that prioritize ethical progress, ultimately fostering societies that are both
Welcome to
innovative
today's
and
episode,
compassionate.
where we'll explore Oscar Wilde's classic novel, The Picture of Dorian Gray. Dr. Rathod, can you give us a brief overview of the novel's premise and its historical context?
Certainly, first published in 1890, The Picture of Dorian Gray is a Gothic novel set in Victorian England. It tells the story of Dorian Gray, a young man whose portrait ages and reflects his sins while he remains youthful. This narrative explores themes of vanity, morality, and the consequences of living a life devoted solely to pleasure.
Fascinating. The novel seems to delve deeply into the idea of outer beauty versus inner corruption. Can you share any anecdotes from Wilde's life that might have influenced this theme?
Wilde was known for his wit and flamboyant lifestyle, often criticized by Victorian society. He believed in art for art's sake, which is reflected in the novel. An anecdote from his life involves his trial where his lifestyle was scrutinized, much like the moral scrutiny Dorian faces.
Some argue that Wilde's focus on beauty and hedonism is superficial. How do you respond to these critiques?
While it's true that Wilde emphasizes beauty and pleasure, the novel actually serves as a critique of these values. Dorian's downfall is a testament to the dangers of unchecked vanity. Wilde challenges readers to consider the dual nature of humanity, appearance versus reality.
Let's dive into the central plot device, a wish that Dorian makes. How does this wish set the stage for the novel's exploration of morality?
Dorian's wish to remain eternally youthful while his portrait ages is reminiscent of a Faustian bargain where he exchanges his soul for eternal beauty. This wish becomes the catalyst for his moral decline, illustrating how the pursuit of pleasure can lead to one's self-destruction.
Dorian's wish seems to be a powerful metaphor. Could you explain this with a hypothetical scenario to clarify its implications?
Imagine a world where every lie you tell manifests as a visible mark on your skin. You might look perfect outwardly, but these marks would reveal your true moral state. Dorian's portrait serves a similar purpose. It's a mirror to his soul, showing the consequences of his actions.
Some might argue that Dorian is simply a victim of Lord Henry's influence. What do you think?
While Lord Henry introduces Dorian to hedonistic ideas, it's ultimately Dorian's choices that lead to his downfall. The novel suggests personal responsibility, emphasizing that while influences shape us, we are accountable for our actions and their repercussions.
Now, let's explore Dorian's descent into a life of hedonism. How does Wilde illustrate the impact of this lifestyle on Dorian's character and relationships?
Over 18 years, Dorian indulges in every vice imaginable. His charm and beauty mask a corrupt soul, as seen in his cruel treatment of Sybil Vane, an actress he once loved. When Sybil commits suicide due to his rejection, Dorian's lack of remorse underscores his moral decay.
Could you share a real-world example where unchecked hedonism led to similar consequences?
Consider the life of a celebrity who succumbs to the pressures of fame and indulgence, often resulting in scandals or personal crises. Such stories remind us of the novel's cautionary message about the perils of living for pleasure alone.
Some critics believe Dorian's charm could have been used for good. What are your thoughts on this potential counter-narrative?
It's an intriguing idea. Had Dorian chosen to use his influence positively, he could have uplifted those around him. However, Wilde's narrative warns that without self-awareness and moral grounding, even the most charming individuals can become destructive forces.
Finally, let's discuss the novel's dramatic conclusion. What does Dorian's attempt to destroy the portrait symbolize, and how does it relate to the novel's themes?
Dorian's decision to stab the portrait represents his desire to escape the guilt and corruption symbolized by the painting. However, this act leads to his own death, illustrating that one cannot simply erase the consequences of their actions. It's a powerful statement on the inevitability of facing one's moral failings.
Can you draw parallels between Dorian's fate and societal issues today?
Certainly, the novel's themes resonate in modern contexts such as the obsession with youth and beauty in social media culture. It warns against valuing superficial appearances over genuine character, a lesson relevant to today's image-driven society. Wilde's work encourages us to look beyond surface appearances and consider the deeper implications of our actions. By embracing authenticity and moral integrity, we can avoid the pitfalls of Dorian's path and lead more fulfilling lives.
The Devil in Daniel Webster, we encounter Jabez Stone, a farmer drowning in misfortune. Dr. Rathod, what prompts Jabez to consider a pact with the devil?
Jabez is overwhelmed by relentless hardships, failed crops, sick livestock, sheer misfortune. In his desperation, he exclaims, "It's enough to make a man sell his soul to the devil." The following day, Mr. Scratch, the devil, appears offering prosperity for his soul.
A classic Faustian dilemma. What does Jabez's transformation tell us about ambition and its consequences?
Initially, Jabez enjoys immense success, but this newfound wealth breeds greed and selfishness. He alienates his community and neglects his family. This highlights how unchecked ambition can lead to moral decay.
Yet, some might argue that such ambition is necessary to escape poverty. How would you address this counterpoint?
While ambition can be a catalyst for change, it's crucial to balance it with ethical considerations. Jabez's story warns that forsaking morality for material gain can lead to ruin.
As Jabez's 7-year deal nears its end, he turns to Daniel Webster, a renowned lawyer. Dr. Rathod, why does Webster agree to take his case against the devil?
Webster, known for his defense of the common man, embodies the values of justice and redemption. He believes in second chances and agrees to defend Jabez, seeing it as a fight for humanity itself.
Webster faces a jury of the damned, notorious figures from history. How does he manage to sway them?
Webster appeals to their sense of humanity, delivering an eloquent speech on freedom, love, and hope. His rhetoric underscores that even flawed individuals deserve redemption.
But isn't it risky to argue for mercy when the evidence is against Jabez?
Absolutely, yet Webster's argument transcends the legalities, focusing on the human spirit's capacity for change. It's a gamble, but one that pays off as the jury is moved by his words.
The jury ultimately decides in favor of Jabez. Dr. Rathod, what significance does this verdict hold in the context of the story's themes?
The verdict symbolizes the triumph of good over evil, emphasizing that redemption is possible. It reinforces the idea that our humanity and capacity for change can prevail even in dire circumstances.
Yet, could this outcome be interpreted as undermining the seriousness of Jabez's initial wrongdoing?
An interesting perspective. However, the story's essence lies in showcasing that even those who err can seek forgiveness, provided they confront their mistakes with sincerity and courage.
What forward-looking insights can we draw from this tale for today's society?
In a world often driven by instant gratification, the story reminds us of the value of integrity and redemption. It encourages a future where ethical considerations guide our ambitions.
In closing, Dr. Rathod, how do the story's themes of patriotism and justice resonate with modern readers?
Daniel Webster's speech is a testament to American ideals, freedom, and justice. These themes remain relevant as they inspire us to uphold these values in our personal and societal endeavors.
Some might say such idealism is impractical in today's complex world. How do we reconcile this?
While challenges exist, idealism serves as a guiding star, pushing us toward a just and equitable society. It's about striving for balance and ensuring that justice is accessible to all.
Finally, what lasting impact does this story have on its audience?
It leaves us with the powerful message that no matter how far one strays, redemption is attainable. It urges us to act with integrity, reminding us that our choices shape not only our future but the legacy we leave behind.
Frankenstein vividly portrays the double-edged sword of ambition. Dr. Rathod, how does Victor Frankenstein embody this theme throughout the novel?
Victor's relentless pursuit of knowledge mirrors the human drive for achievement. From his early fascination with alchemy, he becomes consumed with creating life. It's like a moth to a flame. His ambition blinds him to the ethical responsibilities of his actions.
Indeed, Victor's ambition leads to his downfall. But could one argue that ambition is necessary for scientific progress? After all, many breakthroughs come from ambitious endeavors.
That's a valid point. Ambition fuels innovation. However, the novel cautions against unchecked ambition. For instance, Victor's failure to foresee the consequences highlights the need for ethical considerations in scientific exploration.
In today's context, how can modern scientists balance ambition with responsibility?
Collaboration and ethical review boards are pivotal. By fostering transparent dialogue among scientists, we can ensure that ambition aligns with societal values and minimizes potential harm.
Isolation is a recurring theme in Frankenstein. Dr. Rathod, how does isolation impact both Victor and the creature emotionally and psychologically?
Isolation devastates both characters. Victor isolates himself from loved ones due to guilt, which exacerbates his mental anguish. Similarly, the creature is shunned by society, leading to feelings of alienation and resentment.
Could the creature's isolation be seen as a metaphor for societal rejection?
Absolutely, the creature's plight mirrors the experiences of those marginalized by society. His rejection by the family he observes underscores how fear and prejudice can perpetuate isolation.
Is there a lesson here for dealing with isolation in our own lives?
Yes, fostering empathy and inclusivity is crucial. Creating supportive communities can help mitigate feelings of isolation, promoting mental well-being and social harmony.
Dr. Rathod, Frankenstein raises critical questions about the ethics of scientific exploration. How does the novel address the moral responsibilities of creators?
The novel is a cautionary tale about ignoring ethical boundaries. Victor's blind pursuit of creating life illustrates the perils of neglecting moral considerations. This is a stark reminder that scientific advancements must be tempered with ethical foresight.
Yet, some argue that ethical constraints could stifle innovation. How do we find the right balance?
Balancing innovation with ethics requires robust regulatory frameworks. By setting clear ethical guidelines and involving diverse perspectives in decision-making, we can navigate the complexities of scientific progress responsibly.
Looking ahead, how might this balance evolve with advancing technologies like AI and genetic engineering?
As technologies evolve, ongoing dialogue between scientists, ethicists, and the public is essential. Adaptive policies and a commitment to ethical integrity will ensure that advancements benefit society while minimizing risks.
Frankenstein delves deep into human emotions. Dr. Rathod, how do personal emotions drive the narrative and influence the characters' fates?
Emotions are the novel's lifeblood. Victor's guilt and fear lead him to abandon his creation, while the creature's loneliness fuels his quest for vengeance. These emotions drive the tragic events that unfold. Certainly, unchecked emotions can cloud judgment. However, the novel suggests that recognizing and addressing these emotions can prevent destructive outcomes, emphasizing the need for emotional intelligence.
How might understanding these emotional dynamics apply to our own lives?
By acknowledging and managing emotions, we can make more informed decisions. This awareness can lead to healthier relationships and a more compassionate society, aligning with the novel's timeless
by Thomas
message.
Mann, published in 1947, revisits the classic Faust legend. Dr. Rathod, could you tell us what makes this version unique?
Certainly, the novel is a complex reinterpretation set in early 20th century Germany. It follows Adrian Leverkusen, a composer who trades his soul for artistic brilliance. This version is unique for its integration of Germany's political turmoil as a backdrop, blending personal ambition with national decline.
That's fascinating. How does the political backdrop influence Adrian's character and choices?
The chaos of Germany mirrors Adrian's internal struggles. As the nation faces moral decay, Adrian's pact with the devil symbolizes his own moral downfall. The novel suggests that unchecked ambition can lead to personal and national ruin.
This raises the question of whether ambition inherently leads to isolation. What do you think?
Ambition in Adrian's case isolates him from human connection. He sacrifices love and friendship for greatness. It's a cautionary tale reflecting how pursuit of excellence can alienate individuals from society.
Adrian Leverkusen's journey from a small town to becoming a legendary composer is both inspiring and tragic. What catalysts set him on this path?
Adrian's talent in music and mathematics was evident from a young age. His strict upbringing and introverted nature pushed him toward solitude where his creativity flourished. A pivotal moment was his encounter with syphilis, symbolizing his inner corruption which eventually led to his fateful pact.
The illness certainly adds layers to his character. Does it serve any symbolic purpose in the story?
Absolutely, syphilis acts as a metaphor for Adrian's moral decay. It's untreated, much like his unresolved inner conflicts. His hallucinations during this period lead to the devil's offer, marking the beginning of his artistic and ethical decline.
Could he have chosen a different path, or was his downfall inevitable?
While his talent was undeniable, Adrian's choices were driven by his desire for greatness at any cost. The novel questions whether those who seek extraordinary success are doomed to self-destruct.
Adrian's pact with the devil is a central element of the novel. How does this agreement shape his destiny as a composer?
The pact grants Adrian unprecedented musical genius, resulting in groundbreaking compositions. However, it also demands he forsake love and human connection, leading to his isolation. His greatest works are born from this inner turmoil, reflecting both brilliance and despair.
But such brilliance comes at a cost. How does the pact affect his personal relationships?
Adrian becomes emotionally detached, unable to form meaningful relationships. His genius alienates him from friends and family, leaving him in solitude. The pack's promise of greatness ultimately becomes a curse, trapping him in a cycle of guilt and isolation.
Is there a way to break this cycle, or is Adrian's fate sealed?
The novel suggests that once the pact is made, Adrian is bound to his fate. It serves as a warning about the dangers of sacrificing humanity for ambition, highlighting the irreversible consequences of such choices.
Dr. Faustus draws parallels between Adrian's downfall and Germany's historical context. How does Mann weave these elements together?
Mann uses Adrian's descent into madness as an allegory for Germany's fall into chaos during World War II. The moral and ethical decay in Adrian's life reflects the broader societal collapse, emphasizing the destructive impact of ambition without moral compass.
Looking forward, what lessons can we learn from Adrian's story in today's context?
We can reflect on the balance between ambition and humanity. In a world driven by success, maintaining ethical integrity is crucial. Adrian's story warns us of the perils of losing oneself in the pursuit of greatness, a lesson still pertinent
has
today.
captivated audiences for centuries, beginning with Marlowe's Dr. Faustus and extending to modern cinema. Dr. Rathod, could you elaborate on why this theme persists in literature and film?
Certainly, the Faustian legend explores universal themes of ambition and moral consequence. For instance, Marlowe's Dr. Faustus delves into the tragedy of unchecked ambition, where Faustus trades his soul for knowledge and power but ultimately faces eternal damnation.
Interestingly, Goethe's Faust presents a more nuanced take. Would you say Goethe's version offers a unique perspective on human striving compared to Marlowe's?
Indeed, Goethe's Faust depicts a duality in human ambition. Striving can lead to both destruction and redemption. Unlike Marlowe's tragic end, Goethe's Faust finds salvation through love and continuous striving, suggesting that redemption is possible.
It's fascinating how these stories resonate with different eras. But what about the counter-argument that such narratives overly romanticize ambition?
That's a valid point. Some critics argue that these tales might glorify dangerous pursuits. However, they also serve as cautionary tales, warning against the perils of excessive ambition as seen in Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray.
Moving from literature to the realm of science, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein reimagines the Faustian bargain. How does Shelley's work reflect the dangers of scientific overreach?
Shelley's Frankenstein is a powerful commentary on the ethical responsibilities of creators. Victor Frankenstein's quest for forbidden knowledge results in tragedy, mirroring the consequences Faustus faces for his ambition.
That's a compelling analogy. However, how do we balance the pursuit of knowledge with ethical considerations in today's scientific advancements?
In contemporary science, ethical frameworks are crucial. For example, debates around AI and genetic engineering highlight the importance of ethical oversight. Without it, we risk repeating Frankenstein's mistakes, leading to societal and personal ruin.
Yet, some argue that strict regulations stifle innovation. How can we navigate this tension?
It's a delicate balance. By fostering an environment of responsible innovation, we can encourage scientists to pursue advancements that benefit society while mitigating risks, much like how Bennett's The Devil and Daniel Webster emphasizes justice and moral courage.
Transitioning to modern interpretations, Christopher Nolan's The Prestige offers a fresh take on the Faustian legend. How does Nolan explore these themes in the context of magic and rivalry?
Nolan's The Prestige delves into obsession and the cost of greatness. Rival magicians sacrifice morals and humanity in their quest for success, similar to Faust's bargain with the devil, reflecting how ambition can dehumanize individuals.
Yet, some might argue that ambition is a necessary drive for progress. Is there a counterpoint to the negative portrayal of ambition in The Prestige?
Absolutely. Ambition, when balanced with ethical boundaries, can lead to innovation and progress. However, The Prestige serves as a cautionary tale, illustrating how unchecked ambition can result in personal and relational destruction.
Looking forward, How can creators in competitive fields avoid the pitfalls depicted in such narratives?
By fostering collaborative environments and prioritizing ethical standards, creators can pursue excellence without succumbing to destructive competitiveness, ensuring a balance between ambition and humanity.
Lastly, T.S. Eliot's works, particularly The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock and The Waste Land, provide a psychological dimension to the Faustian themes. How do these poems reflect inner conflicts similar to Faust?
Eliot's Prufrock captures the paralysis of indecision and fear, mirroring Faustus's hesitation about repentance. Similarly, The Waste Land explores spiritual desolation, akin to Faust's existential struggles without resolution or redemption. While Eliot's works lack dramatic action, they delve deeply into psychological landscapes, offering a modern reflection on humanity's loss of purpose and fear of consequence, enriching the Faustian discourse with introspective depth.
In light of this, how might future literary works continue to evolve the Faustian themes?
Future works can explore these themes by integrating modern existential dilemmas, such as digital identity and environmental ethics, maintaining the Faustian tradition of examining humanity's perpetual quest for meaning and consequence.